I grabbed 3 different size gift boxes from Dollar Tree. 2 of them had a ton of glitter on the top, so I am using 100% acetone nail polish remover. Just putting some on a paper towel. You want to just rub that over the glitter and it will just start kind of melting off, but it does go onto the paper towel. This is just a super easy and quick way to get that glitter off of those boxes. Once that was all nice and smooth, then I'm using Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. I am using a Dollar Tree cut up sponge to dab this paint on. I like doing this method because the coverage is great and you are left with no brush strokes. So this larger box that I purchased had this flower sticker on it. I didn't want to rip it off because it could have damaged the box. So I just used my blow dryer, went over that for about 5-10 seconds. And then those stickers just came off super easily without leaving any sticky residue or any bumps or anything like that. So once those were dry, now I'm going to grab the small box using Folk Art chalk paint in the color Imperial Red. Again, using a different cut up sponge, just started dabbing this through. And I did not do this to perfection. I wanted some of that black to peek through. So that's why I went and did the black base coat first, because I wanted some of that to kind of peek through to make it look nice and weathered. And then for the medium box, I am using Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. And for the larger box, using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean. And again, just dabbing that paint all throughout. And let those completely dry. Once those were dry, I wanted to seal and protect the chalk paint. So I just went over the boxes with some Waverly clear wax, just using a paintbrush to apply it on, and then went over it with a paper towel just to kind of buff that wax inside of the chalk paint. I then created this star stencil off of my Cricut machine. However, if you do not have a Cricut machine, they sell these reusable star stencils on Amazon. So I just placed my stencil right down, took off the transfer tape. I just want to make sure that the stencil is completely adhered to my surface, and then went over it with that plaster chalk paint, just using very light dabbing motions. And go ahead and just peeled that stencil right off, and look at how cute that is. And then for the white box, I am just taking the lid off and then using some blue painter's tape to create some even stripes. You want to just apply the blue painter's tape all around this box. And then using that same Folk Art chalk paint in the color Imperial, I just started dabbing that all throughout this box. Again, I did not do this to perfection. However, if you want it to be completely covered, by all means do that. Go ahead and peel off that blue painter's tape and let that dry. And then for the larger blue one, I first hand wrote Liberty using a piece of chalk. This way, if I make any mistakes, I could just wipe it off and redo it. Once I had it to how I wanted it to look, I then went over it with some white acrylic paint. And I did use a very small and fine paintbrush for this part. And now you could hot glue these all together, or you could just leave them separate and use them for some kind of storage. But there you go, guys. I think this came out so adorable. I think these were a great transformation. I hope this inspires you to create your own in your own special way. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.